Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It is a cold October Saturday and I have the shop to myself. Today, the main focus is going to be alignment. My steering wheel is like 90 degrees off. Whether I put it together wrong, we'll find out. I got some parts to throw in there, some new tie rod ends and stuff like that. We'll probably do a few other things while we're down here. So thanks for tuning in. Let's get to it. So earlier you saw me using a mechanic stethoscope. These things are great if you've got access to a rack and you can get the car up in the air, or if you're on jack stands, but be careful if you're crawling under there, especially with the wheels turning, drive shaft, things moving, dangerous. That being said, on the drive down here from my house, which is about 4 miles, I could hear a thump noise from the back. And when I threw it in neutral, it didn't go away, so I knew it was back here. Put this right on the case. Pinion bearing sounds okay. Wheel bearings, they sound okay. The noises, the thumping, the bump, 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 bump that I heard was coming from the backing plates. Now, I put these shoes together 5, 6, 7, 8, who knows, years ago. They are new. Everything's new back here. It's a little rusty because it's been sitting. But anyways, I'm gonna clean these shoes up a little bit of sandpaper, just kind of clean that up. I'm gonna clean this hub surface up. I'm gonna check my drum for being out of round. Now these are not new drums, I don't believe, I don't remember. But if these things are not perfectly round, you know, think of an egg shape, when it comes around on this round surface, you're gonna get a noise. So I'm gonna check those. I'm also gonna clean up the hub surface in here. Maybe that'll take care of it, we'll see. Let's get to it. Got that hub surface cleaned up. This is just some 180 grit. I'm just gonna, real gentle. I'm not looking to bite into these shoes. I'm just a nice little sheen on them, if you will. All right, guys, I got the drums over here on the bench, and if you want to know if these are still good, on the outer edge, they will have a maximum diameter spec. Now, these are painted. It's a little hard to see. One little trick I try is I take a little bit of silver anti-seize and I can kind of make out where it says max diameter. Just gonna rub that on there real quick. Grab a rag. Now I can read. You see that maximum diameter, 9.590 inches. And that is the distance across here that they're talking about. And what you do is you take one of these gauges, which I don't use this a whole lot because how many cars nowadays have drum brakes? And you put this right dead center, and you're gonna pull this out like so. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna rotate a little bit of slop there. If I look at my gauge, it's going to be hard to see, but there's basically graduated units here. There's the 9-inch mark. There's the 10-inch mark. We're right at 9.5. So spec being 9.590, and I'm at really right at 9.5. This drum is still good to go. Now, if it was out around, when I pull this like this, and I start to spin, I might catch a gap, you know, like so. You know, you're spinning around, everything feels tight, and then all of a sudden the thing bobbles around in one spot and then it gets tight again. That means the drum's out around and you need to replace it. This one's still salvageable. Still think I might get some new ones here in the wintertime, but that one's good, needs cleaned up. Come over here. I'm gonna put this in here. Again, I'm gonna pull it like so. Once I got it tight, I'm not gonna press the issue. I'm not gonna put any more pressure on it. I'm gonna spin this. Stays pretty tight all the way around. So that one's good too. One other thing I wanna talk about is you're pulling your drums off of the car and they're hard to come off. Well, that's just because your shoes are doing their job. They're biting into the drum and they're causing right here on the outer edge where they don't contact, they just cause a little ridge. So when you're going to take these off, you go to the backing plate, get one of them screwdrivers. It's a pain in the butt. You adjust the shoes in, then you can get the drum off. For right now, since I got these off, I'm gonna take a whizzer wheel with a little abrasive disc, and I'm gonna kind of smooth these ridges out a little bit. Makes it easier going back together. I'm also gonna clean this hub up. Just give you a shot. Here's the before. We're gonna clean this area up. There's a little lip, a little ridge. Clean that up. So there you are. It's bare steel, nice and smooth. This edge here. Now if you get into the contact area where the shoes sit, meaning this area here, don't be alarmed, you'll be okay. They'll be fine. I didn't get crazy with this. I just wanted to get the top layer of rust off. Yeah, it looks pretty good. Nice and clean. Shoes look good. Hub surface is clean. Now what you can do, if you want, if you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. I take a little bit of silver anti-seize on my finger and I just rub it on the whole surface. Not a lot. You're just putting a real thin coat. Just helps keep it from rusting, and it helps keeping the drum from rusting to the hub, which can happen, I mean, in extreme conditions. But yeah, it just kind of keeps that surface nice and level. Looks good. Okay, let's put this drum on and adjust this, and we'll move on. All right, we've got our drum. It's all cleaned up. This is all cleaned up. It just slides right on here. Way too loose. Yeah, nothing. I got the car neutral. What you want to feel is a little bit of drag. And as you can see, this is really loose. I mean, we don't want it jammed on there, but we want a little tighter than that. So what I do is I pull the drum off, come down here to my adjuster, now the other way to do this is put the drum on and come from the back side with a special tool or a screwdriver. It's kind of a bent screwdriver. I don't like doing it that way if I can do it this way. This way I can see everything and I'm not in there getting frustrated. You just got to be a little patient with it. Perfect. Moving on. All right, guys, moving to the front. To align these cars, you got a couple tie rod ends, inner, outer, and then a sleeve. Same on the other side. You loosen the two turnbuckle nuts. You turn this guy, and they go in and out. Well, right now, that's not going to be an easy process on Frank because, yeah, the genius coated everything in Pour 15 years ago, and instead of chiseling that crap off, I just got replacements. I went on eBay and I did a pretty much generic search, 1975 Nova tie rod end kit, and they have several options. The one I got was $47, free shipping. Now that's either good or bad. It's either good, hey, that's a great price, or it's bad because maybe the product isn't quality. Well, we'll see. I got the box over here. We'll check that out. They had another kit for like $160 that'll give you the center link and the idler arm and pitman, but I didn't need all that stuff. We just want to be able to adjust toe. So let me show you this stuff. So you can tell where this stuff came from, Rock Auto. Okay. Made in China. Go figure. Okay, we've got inner tie rod, 2 of them. Don't forget when you're in the packaging, you got some cotter pins in there. These are the outer tie rod ends, and here's the sleeves. So first impression, not too bad. This doesn't look horrible. I mean, time will tell, right? But it's the right stuff. So let's remove the old stuff. So guys, removing those tie rod ends, not a big deal. A few cotter pins, couple nuts, couple hits with a hammer, they are on the ground. Next thing I did was lower the car down, center my steering wheel, and I put a little spring-loaded holder in there to kind of hold it in place. You don't have to do this. For me, it's just gonna make it easier when I head over to the alignment machine that I'll be closer to center than if I would have just left it alone where it was like 90 degrees out. So let's raise this thing back up, put the new tie rods in. So what I got in front of me is the passenger side. The curved end is the inner, straight is the outer. When you're going together, put a little bit of anti-seize. Not a little bit, you can go crazy with this stuff, actually. Put some anti-seize on these threads. It's gonna help you now. It's gonna help you in the future, because if any water gets in there and rusts this stuff up, it keeps you from having to get a torch out to free it all up. And as you go together, one side's gonna be righty-tighty, the other side's gonna be lefty-tighty. This is the righty-tighty side. And the lefty-tighty is this side. The other thing is, screw each end in equally. So you got an equal amount of threads inside this sleeve. So we got the tires on, and now I'm just going to kind of get this eyeballed as close as I can to straight. And you can get a measuring tape out, and you can measure stuff and get, you know, super close. But I have an alignment machine. I'm just going to get this kind of straight, get over there. We'll do all the final tweaking on the machine. Okay guys, before I head over to the alignment machine, I'm going to go ahead and take care of these headlights. They are all over the place. To do that, I got this crazy tool here. It works well. If I was at home, you could do this right on your garage door. Get 8 feet away, turn the headlights on, and you'll see where the beams are falling, and you'll just be able to adjust them with your vertical and horizontal screws. Piece of cake. So let's get this done. Let's get this car aligned. Hey guys, real quick, so you know what I'm doing. The vertical and horizontal screws. Vertical screw is this top one. That's going to adjust your up and down, and the one over here, that's going to do your left and right. Okay, here's the setup. I got my low beam on. This crazy gadget has a little picture window in the front. Light shines through there, and then you look in the top. See that crazy little green blob? It's very difficult to see, but you can see a little dot with an arrow that says low beam, and then another little dot that says high beam. Well, that glowing orb should be in the center of the low beam dot right now, which it's not. It's a little low. So I'm going to adjust and get that right in the middle of that. Okay, that's lowering it. You can see it goes all the way down. I'm going to go up. Okay, I like that. Now what I'm going to go do is turn the high beams on. All right, looks good. I'm gonna go with that. Time out, real quick, guys. Maybe not everybody's familiar with these terms. I was editing the video and I was like, man, maybe not everybody's familiar with camber, caster, and toe. So I'll give you the down and dirty real quick. Camber and toe, if it's not right, will wear your tires. Now, toe, front tires, if they're in like this, that's positive toe. If they're out like that, that's negative toe. You're going to want them at 0. If it's not right, you're going to have some tire wear, usually at the edges. Camber is the top of the tire. This would be positive camber. This would be negative camber. If that's not right, again, tires are going to wear. The caster, that could be out of spec and your tires are going to be just fine. What caster does for you, imagine you go into a turn, when you let off the wheel and the wheel comes back to straight on its own, that's what caster does for you. On these cars, and really just about all the old muscle cars, the 70s, the upper control arm being at an angle is what made that happen. Now, newer cars today, they got these McPherson struts, and the angle of the strut is what makes that happen. So that being said, guys, let's get back to it. Okay, guys, here we are. Car's all set up on the machine. Look at our camber. Green means go, but I kind of want it in the center or close to it. Passenger side's off a little bit. The caster is a little uneven. Toe we'll worry about last. That's the easy part. For this and this, camber and caster, it's shims. We're installing shims in the upper control arm. So what it's wanting me to do is remove 5/16 of an inch from the front, remove 3/16 here, and on this side, it looks like we're adding. And we've got different size shims to make this happen. Okay, guys, on the right front upper control arm, see the nut here that holds the control arm to the frame? One there, one there. This bracket there's a package of shims, a whole bunch of them. And same goes for back here. You can't really see them too well, but believe me, they're there. When I disassembled this car, I took what was in there out and reinstalled it when the car went back together. Obviously, we're out a little bit. So what we're gonna do is put the right amount of shims in there to get this thing in spec. So in order to do this on the rack, I jack up the front of the car. These are off the ground about 1/2 inch to 1 inch. Then I come up here, loosen these control arm nuts, and then I can put a pry bar here, pry this out, and I can get these shims out of here and put the right amount in there. All right, here we go. Passenger side is done. It's adding for nothing. New shims in there. Hard to see, I apologize, but they're in there. This side, driver's side, we got some work to do. We got to add a couple shims. Adding's easy. Subtracting kind of sucks because, you know, everything's hermetically sealed in here, it seems, and it's hard to get these out. But if you're just adding, not so bad. Okay, guys, car is lowered down. There's our new readings. Very, very close. I am good with that, close enough for government work. Now we're gonna work on this toe. Okay, start the engine, level the steering wheel, install the brake pedal depressor, turn off the engine. Did all that, ready. Okay, this is our right tie rod end. We need to get right here. Yikes. Okay, I've loosened the turnbuckle, and I'll be turning this one way or the other, and I will point you at the screen, and you just yell out when I need to stop. All right, that looks good. We're gonna go ahead and torque that down. Okay, next side. Again, let me know when to stop. Okay, just got to torque that down and we should be okay. Ready? Look at that. Dollar bills, y'all. As long as my steering wheel's straight. All right, that's about it. Next thing, let's put this guy in the wind. Well, guys, that's a wrap on this episode. I'm gonna keep the videos coming though. This winter, we got a list. I got a list here. Got things to do. We got power brake upgrade. There's a bunch of stuff. So you're gonna see videos coming. One other thing, I got a 5.3 liter LS down at the shop. I think it has a bad lifter. I don't know, we'll see. We'll take it apart. And we're gonna be looking for that next project car. So if you haven't, like, subscribe, please. Helps grow the channel. And I'll see you guys later. Have a good one.